Good morning, class. Today I'm going to be lecturing for your day 3 assignment. So I just wanted to show you really quickly. If you are in this screen and you show a brief it right here, I would just X out of it, okay? And that way your notes are aligned with your transcript, okay? It's so much easier to read it, so just X out of it. You want vertical notes present, and then you want your transcript present, okay? So I'm going to cover page 15. I just wanted to explain a couple of things before you do your homework assignment. So some of the words on page 15, you're gonna write spurred through held. So you're going to break it up, but let me see. All of these are, most of them are 4 and 5 letters, okay? So just so you know, they're all written in one stroke. So the word start is S-T-A-R-T. Notice that I wrote it in one stroke, okay? Very important that you all realize that. And then, so there's nothing there that I need to explain. Going on, you're going to read page 16 to yourselves. And so what I wanted to explain on this lesson is that it says at the very top of page 16, it says, as mentioned earlier, strokes may appear in 2 ways, okay? So the strokes appear in the cat, so we're gonna write cat scat, okay? Cat scat. And so notice that there's a line in between in the transcript. So I wrote cat, and then there's a line, and then the next word is scat, okay? The line just comes in. You don't have to write anything through it. It's actually like a slash. It's a slash, so just know you're not looking to write a slash. It comes out automatically when you write the word in stenograph, okay? It also says that it is important that you learn to read the notes easily in both formats. So the format is here, the vertical notes, and then the English transcript, okay? So be able to read this. It's the same as this, just looks a little different. Make sure you can read them both, okay? That you're reading from either one, because right now we don't have a dictionary installed. All we have is your raw steno coming out in both sections. So make sure you have both screens up, okay? So now it says word group exercise 3-2. So what you're gonna do on 3-2 is, it says practice writing the following word groups until you can do them accurately and without hesitation. Also practice reading the notes by covering the English word. Remember, the English word is on the left side of your book. You have the English word. The right side is what your steno notes should look like, okay? So all it's saying is chop up, okay? Chop up. So there's gonna be a line put in there for you. You don't have to worry about it. That slash just represents it's the second word. So make sure that you all know that. Very important, because some of you might send me an email saying, I don't know how to write the slash. There is no slash. All you're gonna write is chop up, and then you're gonna write held up, okay? It's letting you know chop is the first word, up is the second word. Very important that you all know that, okay? You're not writing a slash, so just to let you know that. You've got kept up, okay? So the first word you're writing is kept, the second word is up, just so you know. You have the steno outline there, so make sure you look at the steno outline, cover the English portion, and make sure that you can actually read through that, okay? And so follow your homework assignment sheet as to where to break up the words, okay? So now lesson 4, we're going on to lesson 4. You're gonna read 17, 18, and 19 to yourselves. I'm going to cover it, so I'm going to make my screen a little bit bigger, and I want you to know how important it is to read everything. Go over everything. Don't wait. Read everything in your book, listen to my lecture, and then complete your homework assignment, okay? Very important that you all do that. So we're starting on page 17, lesson 4, if you all want to open your books, and it's called Keyboard Familiarization, Single Characters Writing Sentences. So very important that you all read everything. So it says, before you begin writing sentences, you will need to learn the basic marks of punctuation, the most common inflected endings, and the outlines for a very few high frequency words, okay? So you need to master these outlines, you all. I cannot stress how important it is. You need to master it, because some words occur so frequently in the English language, words such as the, a, is, are, etc. They are written as briefly as possible while still remaining definitive and conflict-free. These high-frequency words will be introduced as you learn the letters on the keyboard that are used to represent them. There will be some memorization involved. Fortunately, in STENED, the vast majority of words are written according to theory principles that apply to entire families of words, so memorization is kept to a minimum. However, the high-frequency words and phrases presented here are to be memorized. So I cannot stress how important it is to memorize these outlines. The sooner you do it, the better you're going to be at it. So I will explain that in a little bit. We present them early in your training so they will become a natural part of your writing, enabling you to progress quickly to more advanced material. So anything your book tells you to write a certain way, you got to write it like that, and you have to memorize the way you're writing it. So what helps you to learn that? And what helps me, and what I find is they're scientifically proven to help you, are flashcards. Go to the dollar store, buy yourself some flashcards. I would get the bigger ones just because it's more visually, it's larger. So the bigger flashcards, write the brief letter on one side of it and then the English language on the next. Test yourselves. Remember, you have to memorize something and it becomes instilled in your brain, and then it helps you to write the word. So I cannot stress how important it is to buy those flashcards, okay? I swear by them. They really help. And so make sure that you do that, okay? And going on, okay? And so very, very important that you get your flashcards made. And it says, we present them early in your training so they will become a natural part of your writing, enabling you to progress quickly to more advanced material. So I do have some flashcards here. These are the smaller size ones, but I'll show you a little bit how to utilize them in order to help you with your studies, okay? So we're going to talk about briefs and phrases. Although the vast majority of shorthand outlines follow the sound of words, short forms or briefs are used for many of the high-frequency words that we hear over and over. Definitions of briefs and phrases follow. So remember, a brief is an outline that does not fully represent the sound of the word being outlined. An example is using the outline T for the word the rather than writing it out more fully. So that's what a brief is. It's just a shortcut of a word. So it's not all of the letters represented. It's just like a letter that represents that word, okay? Phrase is an outline representing two or more words that does not fully represent the sounds of those words. Example, using the outline ST for the phrase is the. So that's where these flashcards become really, really helpful. So we would write a T by itself. I would put a hyphen T on one side, hyphen T, and then you turn it around and you're going to write the. And it might, you know, my marker might be too thick, but then I write the on the other side and then initial T. And all you do is quiz yourselves. Notice the initial T is on the initial side, and then final side is, the back part of it would be the. So all the briefs they introduce you to, or it's actually initials T, okay? So it's just T by itself, and then I turn it around and it would be the written on there. Or like they said, is ST. So it's S, and then it's a little hyphen T. And then that's ST, and then it's going to be is the on the other side, and that way you test yourself. ST equals is the. So that's what I mean by using your flashcards, okay? Since STENED theory is designed to make the most efficient use of case or computer-aided transcription technology, and as such is conflict-free, we limit our use of briefs and phrases to those that cause no problems, no confusion or conflicts in translation. There are many non-conflicting briefs and phrases, particularly for high-frequency words, which we do encourage. Throughout your STENED training, you will be introduced to numerous briefs and phrases, some optional, some mandatory, and all conflict-free. It is extremely important to only use briefs and phrases contained in your STENED theory book. So you all, I cannot stress how important it is to only use what's in your book. Okay, your homework assignment will be graded by a lab assistant, and if you don't have it completed correctly, you're going to have to redo it. So only follow briefs in your book. The entire STENED theory has been designed as a unit to be totally totally free of conflicts Do not adapt outlines and writing techniques from other theories or from non-STEM ed writers. Most experienced reporters were not trained to be real-time writers, or you run the risk of incorporating conflicts into your writing, defeating the purpose of learning a conflict-free theory. Okay, so very important that you all read everything. Going on to page 18, high-frequency briefs. So here it's telling you now, anytime you see a box, you have to memorize that box. So this is where your flashcards are very important. S, and this hyphen is after the S, means it's on the initial side, is. T with the little hyphen means it's initial side. So the T by itself is the K by itself is can, W by itself is with, R by itself is R, A is A. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize myself and I'm going to show you. I don't have a dictionary loaded on here, so you're not going to see the words coming out. You're doing the homework user. You're in your homework user. So, but I want you to memorize this because it's very important and you're learning a new language. So S by itself is, the by itself is initial T is the, K by itself is can, with is W, R is R, A is just A by itself. So these are the new short forms you have to memorize, okay? And so you're going to practice writing them. And now we go on to inflected endings. Make sure you know they're on the left side of your machine, on the initial side, okay? Because they're word beginnings. So it's initial letters only on that top part. Inflected endings, very, very important that you all listen very carefully to this. Generally, the final side of the keyboard, which is over here, the right side of the keyboard. Let me enlarge myself. Okay, the right side of the keyboard, the final side, is reserved for word endings. The following single character letters on the final side of the keyboard are used to write inflected endings. Inflected endings are added to words to change their function. An example to indicate plurality or tense, but not their basic meaning. So we've got final S for words ending in S. So for example, we write the root word. Let me minimize this. You've got Rob is R-O-B. Rob's, R-O-B, come back final S. Notice that I wrote it over here, Rob, R-O-B, come back final S, okay? The root word is Rob, the inflected ending is S, so that's how you write that. Robbed, R-O-B, come back final D, okay? It ends in an ED, but you're gonna come back with a D only. All words ending in ing, you're gonna come back with the final G. So let's say, for example, the word is robbing, Rob, come back G, okay? R-O-B, come back G. So very, very important that you do that. And let's go over another one. Pet is the root word. Pets, P-E-T, come back S. Petted, P-E-T, come back final D. Petting, P-E-T, come back G. Notice I'm on the right side of the machine. Final G, final S, final G, okay, and final D. They're on the right side. It's not going to be on the initial side because that's wrong. So very important that you all understand I'm on the right side. The word is written and then the inflected ending is on the right side of the machine. So let's say it's stop, stop, and then stops, S-T-O-P, come back final S. We've got stopped, S-T-O-P, come back final D. We've got stopping, S-T-O-P, come back final G. Okay, so stop, root word, stops, S-T-O-P, come back final S. You got to know that that goes with the stop word. Stopped, S-T-O-P, come back final D. Stopping, S-T-O-P, come back G. Okay, very important that you'll realize that. You come back with the second stroke. So in your book, there's a slash and then an ending. And so it's going to be rob, the root word. If it's robbed, you come back with the D. Just think it's the last letter of robbed, the D. The last letter in running is a G, so you come back final G. The last letter in robs, R-O-B, come back S, so it's going to be the S. Okay? Please make sure that you read that and that you understand it's on the right side. I don't want you to complete your homework assignment wrong. So now we're going to learn major punctuation. So a period, remember, it's so important to be able to write your punctuation. The period, the comma, and question mark are written by stroking banks of keys. The term bank refers to a row of letters that can be stroked simultaneously by the four fingers of either or both hands, such as STPH, FPLT, or STPH, FPLT. So now anytime you stroke a FPLT, it's going to be a period. Okay, so anytime we have our dictionary hooked up, right now it's not hooked up, it's just homework. FPLT means a period, RBGS is a comma, STPH is a question mark. So you have to memorize those. So I would make flashcards. One side put a FPLT, the other side make the sign of a period. Another card, RBGS, on the other side you put a comma, just the comma, the punctuation mark. STPH one side, the other side will be a question mark. You have to memorize these, okay? So anytime you have an FPLT, it's going to be a period, comma, RBGS, question mark, STPH, okay? So very, very important that you all realize that punctuation has to be incorporated in your writing. So it says you're going to write the exercises 4-1, sentences 1 through 12, and the left side is the English, the right side are what your notes should look like. So it says a cat sat, period. You've got to include the period, okay? So the left side is English, the right side is what your notes should look like. Let's do the next sentence. The cat is sad. So it's going to be the cat is sad, period. So that's how it's going to look. The cat is sad, period. You've got to write it just like that outline on the right side is, okay? So make sure that you listen to my homework instructions with the video and then that you incorporate these sentences in your writing. Very, very important. Remember, period is FPLT, comma, RBGS, question mark, STPH. Okay? So I wanted to show you that. Let me know if you have any questions. And now I'm just going to dictate some of your homework assignment from your first homework assignment, your second homework assignment. So please make sure your machines are hooked up, that you're all ready to go. You can name it practice session. You don't turn this in. This is just so you can practice and attain speed that you need necessary for your tests and for excelling in the program, okay? So I'll give you a couple of minutes. Hopefully everybody's got their machines hooked up, and I'll just give you a couple of seconds to do that before I dictate, okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some warm-up. Always remember, it's very, very good to practice your initial keyboard alphabet as a warm-up, okay? So I'm going to start. Make sure you all are hooked up, that you really concentrate on writing everything down as perfectly as you can, and that you get as much as you can and listen to this as many times as you need to in order to attain the skill. Okay, I cannot stress it. So focus, make sure you're in a room by yourself, everything's off, you're looking at the ground, at the wall, and try and get everything you can, okay? So this is gonna be a quick warm-up. I'm gonna start with the initial side of the keyboard, so it's the left side of the keyboard with your left hand and their letters, okay? Just a little quicker, just so I can incorporate more stuff with you all for this session. Here we go, you all. Make sure your computers are hooked up, that you can see your notes and the green portion on the left side with your stenographic outlines. Remember, just get what you can. If I'm going too fast, just get in with the next word, the next letter, and try and get as much as you can, okay? Here we go now. 2-1, page 10, at no particular speed. Just try and get it accurately. S, T, P, H, S, K, W, R, H, P, T, S, R, W, K, S, S, T, S, K, P, W, H, R, H, P, T, S, R, W, K, S, O, A, S, T, P, H, S, K, W, R, A, O, H, P, T, S, S, T, A, S, T, O, K, W, A, K, W, O, P, A, O, T, A, H, R, P, W, T, K, O, S, R, O, R, A, H, A, W, S, T, P, H, A, O, S, K, W, R, A, O, P, H, T, S, O, A, R, W, K, S, T, O, K, A, P, O, W, A, H, O, W, S, T, O, A, H, P, K, R, S, O, A, T, H, W, R. I know you're not getting all of that. That's okay. Just make sure you can keep up with most of it and that you keep practicing it until you can get it all. Okay? It's all about practice, practice, practice. Now we're going to the final side of the keyboard. So all of these letters are with your right hand, and it's the final side, the right side of the machine. Okay? Here we go. Find a focal point. Really, really concentrate. F, P, L, T, R, B, G, S, T, L, P, F, R, B, G, S, S, G, B, F, R, P, B, L, G, T, S, R, F, B, P, G, L, S, T, L, P, F, E, F, U, R, B, G, S, E, U, F, P, L, T, U, S, G, B, R, E, T, S, E, U, L, E, G, U, P, E, F, R, U, E, F, R, P, B, L, T, U, P, E, F, L, E, G, U, R, S, L, G, T, E, S, U, B, R, E, F, U, R, P, E, B, U, G, E, T, F, G, U, S, R, U, T, G, T, S, L, G, E, P, B, U, F, R, S, E, U, S, E, T, R, E, F, B, L, G, F, R, T, P, E, T, U, S, F, G, T, E, R, U, B, T. Shake out your hands. And I know that's too fast, but just listen to it until you can keep up with most of it. Just keep listening to it over and over. It's a skill. So you just go back into Blackboard, you access my video, and just have your machine plugged in and listen to it as many times. Remember, this is practice. You don't turn it in. All we do is I make sure that you accessed Blackboard. It'll tell me how long you accessed it if you listen to it. So you don't turn this in. You're just getting the practice on your own so that you can build up the skill. Okay? So I'm going on. And this is going to be I'm not gonna dictate 2-3 and 2-4 with the asterisk. I don't know if that's really necessary, you all. So I'm just gonna dictate lesson 3. I think the words are really important. So this is gonna be the first 3-1, okay? And it's gonna be the words from page 14 and page 15, okay? Very important, you all. So warm up, and then now I'm going to dictate words. Remember, you write them all in the same stroke. So you write it all together. They're all one syllable words, so it's written in one stroke. So if I say cuff, just K-U-F, okay? If I say pot, one stroke, and I'm stroking it all together, P-O-T, okay? If I say purr, P-U-R, okay? If I say hug, H-U-G. So notice I'm writing them all in the same stroke. Pot, purr, hug. So it's really important that when I say the word, and I'm going to go slow, that you have to remember the initial letter, the vowel that you're going to write it, and then the word ending. So that's why it's so important to memorize your keyboard. Very, very important, okay? So I'm going to dictate some words. I want to make sure I'm going to go slow, and I just want to make sure that you all can practice this as many times as you need to, okay? So I'm starting with page 14, and I'm just going to go down the row of the first column, the second column, okay? I'm going to go slow. I want you all to be hooked up and that you can write these words, okay? And read them back afterwards. So here we go. Find a focal point, close your eyes, look down at the floor, at the wall, and just write what I'm saying. If it's too fast, just come in with the next one, with the next word, jump right in, don't wait, just jump in with the next word because every word counts. Okay, here we go. Find a focal point. Wrap. Rat. Rag. Rob. Rot. Rod. Red. Rub. Rug. Rut. Hat. Hop. Hog. Hot. Hug. Hut. War. Wet. Pal. P-A-L. Pat. Pop. Pod. Pot. pet, peck, pull, purr, car, cap, cab, cat, cop, keg, cuff, cur, cup. Okay, shake out your hands. And remember, you can always go back and read your outline compared to the book. I just went up and down the columns on page 14. I read both columns, so you can check later on to see if you're misstroking your vowels. Is it the initial letter or the final letter? That way you see where you need help on the initial alphabet, the final alphabet, because remember, your alphabet is essential to memorizing everything. It's all the basic letters, so I cannot stress how important it is to memorize STPH, SKWR, FPLT, RBGS, and then the vowels with the thumbs, okay? Now I'm gonna dictate words from lesson 3, and it's the first column on page 15. So now I'm incorporating 3 letter strokes, 4 and 5. So it's gonna be a little more difficult, okay? So I will go slow. Please take this down on your machine so you know where you stand. Here we go. I don't expect you all to get everything, but you know, I have to put a little speed in there because that's court reporting, okay? So listen to it as many times as you need to in order to perfect it. But just know that's how court reporting is. It's a little fast. If I go too slow, you all will be in school forever. So I have to add some speed to it. It's not timed, but you know, you just need to know where you stand and just practice to everything as many times as you need to in order to perfect it, okay? So these are page 15, first column only words, and it's from your homework last night, your homework assignment. Remember, it's easy to look at the book and do your homework, harder to listen to it and be able to write it down from just memorization. So that's where you got to train yourself to listen and write it and not hesitate. Be able to write it as perfectly as I'm saying it, that you don't have any shadows, that it's a perfect cut. When I say cut, you want to have a perfect K-U-T there. If I say tar, you want to have a perfect T-A-R. No shadows. If I say tub, you don't want to write tug. It's tub, T-U-B. And it's easy to misstroke because you really got to know the keyboard. So here we go. Find a focal point, and here we go. These are words. Concentrate, listen to what I'm saying, write it down. I know it's hard to, if you have your keyboards there, try to look at it, but it kind of is pointless because you've got to know it by memorization, memory, and then just listen to it and write it, okay? So if you're having a hard time with it, keep going back to the basics and listen to that over and over. S, T, P. That's where you gain your speed, okay? Here we go, you all. Find a focal point. Cut. Tar. Tap. Tag. Tab. Top. Tub. Tug. Sap. Sad. Sob. Set. Sub. Strap. Scrap. Spread. Stop. Shot. Staff. Step. Stag. Stud. Stuff. Star. Stab. Scab. Scat. Scar. Skull. Spat. Spot. Sped. Spar. Shake out your hands. Try and keep up with that as much as you can, you all. I know it's fast, I know it's hard, but just keep up with it, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read a column of words. You're going to write them down, and you're going to read it to yourself out loud, and you're going to compare it to the book on page 14. I'm only reading the first column, okay? That way you all know where you stand. It's not at a speed. I just want you all to compare what you wrote to what's in the book, okay? So find a focal point, hit stroke PF 3 times so you know where to start, okay? I'm going to go slow. I want you all to be able to read this back, and you read it out loud, okay? Here we go. You're going to read it to yourselves out loud compared to the book, okay? Wrap. Rat. Rag. Rob. Rot. Rod. Red. Rub. Rug. Rut. Hat. Hop. Hog. Hot. Hug. Hut. War. Wet. And that's it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back, scroll over here where you had your PF, just click on it with your mouse and it'll take your notes back up to that portion. Okay, it'll take your notes and compare what you wrote to what's in the book. And I only read the left column, wrap through wet on page 14. So that's where you know how to compare it and see how you did, okay? Really important that when y'all are reading it, read out loud. I promise, loud and clear out loud. I know it sounds silly, but it gives you the confidence, and that's how you read in court. So it's good to get trained now, okay? So that's it. See where you stand, what you need to practice on. If you need to go back and listen to the initial letters of the alphabet, the ST, make sure you get that down, okay? Listen to it as many times as you need to. It's only gonna help you, you all. If you want to succeed in this program, all it is about practice, repetition, and doing your homework. But you just have to put in some effort. You've got to put in extra time. It's not going to come that easy unless you're a natural. We have had naturals that come in, don't have to do anything, but I've only seen maybe 1 or 2 in my entire 12 years of teaching. So even then it's tough. So just make sure that you all go over everything, that you're going to go read back your whatever you put on your notes compared to the book, read it out loud, and let me know if you have any questions, okay? Have a wonderful day, you all. Good luck on your read back.